Hey everyone, welcome back to Easy Coding. Today we are going to discuss about part 3 of AZ900 exam. If you are new to my channel, please care to subscribe my channel for latest updates. Let's go through some important points. First one is monitoring in Azure. For all monitoring aspect, you can head over to Azure Monitor. For all monitoring, we are using Azure Monitor. You can use the metrics section to view the entire metrics for your Azure resources. And you can use the active log feature to look all the control plane activities. So if someone has shut down a virtual machine, you would be able to see who shut down the virtual machine in the activity logs. So this is an important point. If someone has shut down a virtual machine, you would be able to see who shut down the virtual machine in the activity logs. Let's move on to third point, that is you can also view any service related issues in the service health module of Azure Monitor. The Azure Monitor have one module, that is Azure that is service health module. So inside that we can see any service related issues. So let's move on to the fourth point. You can also create a service health alert in Azure Service Health. So we can create alerts in the Azure Service Health. And next point, you can also direct logs from various resources such as Azure Virtual Machines onto the log section. Here you have to create a log analytics workspace to store the logs. This is also an important point. Let's move on to the next topic, that is Azure Kubernetes. First we will see what is Kubernetes. That is, this is an open source platform that is used to manage containerized workloads. So basically Kubernetes is used to manage containerized workloads. So Kubernetes is able to provide a DNS name to your container. If there is a high workload on your container, Kubernetes can load balance and distribute network traffic. That is the use of Kubernetes. And Kubernetes can also restart containers if that fails. It can also be used to replace or kill containers. So it also helps you restore and manage sensitive information such as password, auth tokens, SSH keys, etc. So these are the functionalities of Kubernetes. So let's look into what is Azure Kubernetes. So Azure Kubernetes fully managed Kubernetes service on Azure. Make it easy to deploy and manage containerized applications. It helps to remove the burden of managing the underlying infrastructure for the Kubernetes deployment. So it's helped to reduce the burden of managing the underlying infrastructure for the Kubernetes deployment. So let's move on to the next important point, that is Azure Content Delivery Network. This is an ideal service to use for your web applications. If you need content to be distributed to users across the world for your websites, then it is ideal to use the Azure Content Delivery Network service. So the point is, this is important point, if you need content to be distributed to users across the world for your websites, then it is ideal to use the Azure Content Delivery Network services. And all these points are important. Here the users are directed on various edge servers by the Content Delivery Network service. The edge servers will get the content from your website and also cache frequently accessed content. That's an important point. Frequently asked question. The edge servers are located across the world, so it gives all users a seamless experience when it comes to accessing your website. So let's move on to the next topic, that is Azure Advisor. We use this tool to get various recommendations on different topics, that is cost, security and high availability. This is an important point, that is cost, security and high availability. So for what purpose we are using Azure Advisor, that is for cost, security and high availability. These are the 3 points of Azure Advisor. So we will see the next one, that is Application Insight. So let's see the points in the Application Insight. Application Performance Management Service for web developers. And you can use this tool to monitor your application. It can help developers detect anomalies in the application. It can help diagnose issues. It can also help understand how users use your application. It also helps you improve performance and usability of your application. And let's see how does it work. You install a small instrumentation package within your application. You can see the statistics of your application locally in Visual Studio as you run your application. You can also use the Application Insight resource in Azure to monitor your application. And what are the different aspects monitored by Application Insight? that is request rate, the response times and failure rate. This done at the page level, and exception recorded by your application, page views and their load performance as reported from the user's browser, and user and session counts, performance counters of the underlying Windows or Linux machines, diagnostic trace logs from your application, any custom events or metrics that the developer writes themselves in the code. So these are the advantages of application insights. So let's move on to the next topic, that is Azure Cognitive Services. This is most important one. So let's see what it is. Azure Cognitive Services are APIs, SDKs and services available for helping developers building intelligent applications. Here the developer does not need to have any AI, artificial intelligence or data science skills. There are many services available for developers to make use of, like computer vision, face API, speech services. All three are important. So let's look into the first one, that is computer vision. This helps developers process images and return information. You just supply the image and the service can help identify the image. So if you are giving an image of a train, then it's simply identify what the image is. So that is the use of computer vision. This is one important point. This service can detect objects and help provide categories for the image. It can also detect color, faces and extract text from images. It can also help moderate content in images. If you provide one image of a face to computer vision, that will identify the image. Next one is Face API. This can be used to detect, recognize and analyze human faces in images. It can also help find similar faces from a set of images. It can also help identify a detected face against a database of people. So that is the use of Face API. This is an important point. And the next one is speech service. You can use speech to text service to translate speech to text. You can also generate synthesized speech from text using text to speech. So cognitive services are very important. So you will definitely get one question from these points. So let's move on to the next one, that is Azure Machine Learning. This is also a very important one. Machine learning is the process that enables computers to use existing data to forecast future behaviors, outcomes and trends. So machine learning is the process that enables computer to use existing data to forecast future behaviors, outcomes and trends. Here the computers don't need to be programmed on how to learn. Azure Machine Learning gives you a cloud-based environment for preparing data, training data and testing, deploying and managing machine learning models. You get a visual interface which can be used to drag and drop modules to build experiments and deploy models. And we have Machine Learning Studio. This is a drag and drop visual workspace which you can use to build, test and deploy machine learning solutions without need of writing any sort of code, because it is a drag and drop kind of a visual workspace. This tool has pre-built and pre-configured machine learning algorithms. The next one is the Azure HD Insight. This is a cloud distribution of Hadoop based components. Azure HD Insight allows you to process large amounts of data. These are very important points. You can use HD Insight for a variety of big data processing scenarios such as data warehousing, batch processing and data science as well. So this is very important. You can create different type of clusters, Apache Hadoop, Apache Spark, Apache HBase. HD Insight also supports a host of programming languages such as Java, Python, .NET, etc. Let's move on to the next concept, that is Azure DevOps. This is complete set of tools that can be used to help teams to plan work, collaborate on code development and build and deploy applications. Azure DevOps have the following services, that is Azure Repos, Azure Pipelines, Azure Boards, Azure Test Plans, Azure Artifacts, etc. So what is Azure Repos? This allows you to host Git repositories or use Team Foundation version control. Git is a version control tool, right? So Azure Repos is used to host Git repositories or use Team Foundation's version control. Azure Pipelines. This provides build and release services for continuous integration and release. Azure Pipelines are used for CI/CD purpose. And the next one is Azure Boards. This helps to plan and track work items. That is, the work item can be divided between different people, right? So one task will be divided to different people. So that can be monitored in Azure Boards. Azure Test Plans. This provides a tool for testing of applications. And Azure Artifact. This allows teams to share Maven, NPM and NuGet packages from public and private sources. Let's move on to the next topic, that is Azure DevTest Labs. This service allows developers to efficiently self-manage virtual machines and PaaS, that is platform as a service resources, without the need to wait for approvals. The DevTest Labs can be used to create labs consisting of pre-configured base or Azure Resource Manager templates, that is ARM templates. And with DevTest Labs, you can quickly provision Windows and Linux based environment through the use of reusable templates and artifacts. You can easily create load testing environments and create environments for training and demos. This service also helps in optimizing cost to some features. Here you can set an auto shutdown and auto start schedule for virtual machine. You can set policies on the number of virtual machines users can create. You can set policies on the size of the virtual machine, and you can track cost, etc. So these are the important points of Azure DevOps. I hope it will be useful to all of you. We will have one more session, that is part 4 for this theory part. And thank you so much for watching. If you have any queries, please comment in the comment section. Thank you.